Hi and welcome. I'm Christina Cole, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about how to stack peptides and how to incorporate peptides into an overall lifestyle protocol to really give you the best impact and the most bang for your buck, the best benefits. So, we're going to start off just kind of talking about the idea behind using peptides. This is about aging by design and not by default. Peptides can be a powerful tool, but they are not standalone solutions. And my work is about building stable metabolic and lifestyle foundations so that advanced tools like peptides actually work with the body instead of against it. So, functional healing really asks a different question than what you might get in conventional care. So, instead of what symptoms do we need to suppress, that we're asking, why is the body expressing this signal? What is the dysfunction? What does our body want us to pay attention to? We don't address the terrain. When we don't address the terrain, our gut, our hormones, our detox pathways, our stress, the body will continue to get louder and louder until we do start to address those things. So my role as an FDN is to help identify the roots and not chase the noise. We really cannot peptide our way around the lifestyle challenges, right? This is not a pill for an ill type of a situation. Peptides really do amplify what's happening in the body. If we have poor sleep, if we have high stress, if our protein intake is low, or maybe our total caloric intake is low, if we have unstable blood sugar, peptides are not going to override that. They're really just going to end up magnifying what the imbalances are. And that's why lifestyle isn't optional. It is part of the blueprint to really get the most benefit from using biohacking tools like peptides. So, what are peptides? So, peptides are a short chain of amino acids, and they're kind of the language that our cells speak to one another. So, they are naturally occurring signaling molecules. They don't force outcomes like drugs tend to do, but they do remind the body how to function. And that's why low toxicity and natural breakdown matter. But even the best messages need a receptive environment. And that's why, again, the terrain is so important. So, one of the ones that we hear about the most are GLP-1s, but this isn't about weight loss as the end all goal. It's about restoring our metabolic signaling. It's about reducing food noise and improving insulin sensitivity. It's about supporting energy and the real wins here. B12 is critical because metabolic shifts require cellular energy support, and without it, we will experience fatigue, and that burnout does increase. So, microdosing, and why does that matter? Well, most of the time, what you're going to hear about is kind of like the frontline news type stories and people having some challenges after using peptides, but it really comes down to how much are they getting, right? So microdosing is more about having a sustainable relationship with peptides. This is more about long-term health, and longevity isn't built on aggressive dosing. It is built on the sustainability model. Microdosing allows us to support our cardiovascular health. It helps us support brain health, and it helps insulin sensitivity without stressing out our system. This approach is especially important for women who think long term and not short term when it comes to their health protocols. And we want to keep what matters and honestly lose what doesn't. So that can come from a variety of different sources, including people that maybe need to be excised from your space, maybe habits that need to be excised from your space. But one of the biggest risks with GLP-1 therapies is unintended muscle loss and slow digestion, and that's why nutritional support is non-negotiable. We want protein protects lean mass. Fiber keeps digestion moving. Enzymes ensure absorption. So those digestive enzymes make such a huge difference. And this is how we protect strength, metabolism, and vitality. So we're going to also use peptides to help clear brain fog, right? So that's something we all kind of have a challenge with. Brain fog is rarely a motivational problem. It's an energy and signaling problem. excuse me, and we can use NAD+, which supports that ATP or energy chain production, and DNA repair. And then B12 helps support our neurotransmitters and that cognitive resilience. And when cells have energy, clarity flows. And then who doesn't want to turn back the clock, right? So as we age, our growth hormone signal starts to decline, as do many other things, right? So you're going to start to have slower motility. You're going to have lower digestive support by having lower bile acids. And unfortunately, our hormones start to decline as well. So Semerelin supports natural release rather than replacement, which is safer and more sustainable. And then glutathione, that master antioxidant, is foundational. It does help support our detoxification, helps support immune function, and provide cellular protection. So this is about resilience and not anti-aging, hype that we hear about. And then one of the things that tends to be a byproduct of dysfunction in the body is a lower libido. And so the PT141 is a really cool approach to kind of helping to stimulate. So most of the time when you hear about stimulation, it is about blood flow. It's about vascular resources, particularly to the nether regions, right? But this is more about the neurological side. So desire is neurological, it's emotional, it's relational. And so we're not just focusing on the physical. PT141 works at the brain level. It helps support dopamine pathways and emotional bonding. So this is about restoring connection and satisfaction versus about being a performance pressure situation. And then the copper peptide, GHKCU, I think this is starting to become more and more available through a variety of different high-quality supplement companies. But the skin health does reflect our internal signaling. Copper peptides support collagen and elastin, and this approach works with the body rather than trying to override it. And we're aiming for vitality and not artificial results here. And then healing. So the BPC 157 and combination with TB500 is really fantastic at helping us with that repair and recovery. So as a Pilates instructor, I would be working with clients all the time that were telling me they had shoulder issues. I would see and kind of have to give them some adaptations for shoulders, knees, hips. And so this is a way to start helping your body with that repair process. So this healing capacity does naturally decline as we age, and stress really makes that even worse. BPC 157 supports our gut integrity, which influences our immunity, our hormones, and it helps reduce inflammation. And TB500 supports tissue repair. So together, they really restore the body's ability to recover. So when it comes to peptides, I'm really not looking at one system in isolation. Just like when I'm looking at your lab work, your personal intake information, I'm not looking at just one thing. I really want to know the entire terrain. I want to know all of the information. And so peptides work in the same way. This is not about looking at a system in isolation, but it is looking at that metabolic and mitochondrial situation. It is looking at regeneratization and repair. It's about your mood, your libido, your aesthetics, and that longevity that we're all looking for, right? We want to age with grace. And so longevity comes from sustained communication between systems and not from isolated interventions. So if you are interested in maybe learning more about how functional labs might work for you, how adding in peptides when you do some of this foundational work, that is how I operate. So I'm really looking to kind of get that foundational work done first. So my process does start with data. It's not about guessing, and functional labs show us where communication is breaking down. And from there, we would build a personalized strategy and layering in coaching and support. So this is about partnering with you and not about giving you a prescription or a pill for an ill. So if you're interested in maybe working with me or having a strategy call, how might this work for you? This is a great way to get in contact with me because you don't really need another protocol. You need some clarity around what your body needs and when it needs it. And my role is to guide that process thoughtfully, safely, and intentionally. I don't believe in pressure sales. That's not what my business is about. It's just about making some informed decisions. I can never want something for you more than you want it for yourself. I do have some additional tools for you. So if you click on the link here, you can get my free book. So I wrote a short book, 5 chapters, and it's about aging with vibrancy, right? Really about moving the needle for yourself through lifestyle approaches. And if you're interested in getting into contact, maybe you just want to start with some peptides and do this on your own. I have a partnership with the LEMD. I'd be happy to put you in contact with their medical team. And if you're looking for doing that foundational work, finding that clarity, and maybe adding in some biohacking tools, reach out to me via email. You can give me a call or just click the link and it'll open up my calendar for a 15-minute session just to get to know you better and see if this is a right fit for you.